Hi guys, Squad here. Welcome to another episode of my realistic playthrough of Derail Valley train simulator, and in this episode we're going to attempt our biggest haul yet. If you watched the end of the previous episode, you'll know what's to come. We've basically got 8 jobs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one which I can't even hold in my inventory. 8 jobs that we need to go and hand in at the station. And then we're in the harbour. We've got to haul this out of the harbour at night. Luckily, it's not raining currently, so we can get up this hill. At night, we're going to make our first stop at the farm. And then we're going to go straight down to City West and drop off 2 jobs. We're dropping 2 jobs here, 2 jobs here. We're then going to loop into the coal power plant, make 1 drop there. And then we're going to carry on out of here, make a drop at the oil refinery, then straight down to the food factory where we've got our final 2 drops. I'm not planning on picking anything up on the way because I think we've got enough on our plate here. We've got 2 DE6s, a DH4, a DE6 Slug. Our total train weight is 3,148 tons, and our total length, I think we calculated already, is almost a kilometre, almost 1,000 metres. So there's definitely a lot to do. So let's get over to the station, hand this lot in, and get out of here. Right, just before we actually hand these in, I want to do some of our prep, because once we hand them in, the clock's going to start ticking. So the first thing I want to do is set our journey out of the harbour. So we're going to go right out the harbour, and then left, and then we're going to go up through here, keep right, left at the steel mill, down through the farm, Orwell Central, keep right, City West, keeping left. Then we're going to have shenanigans at the coal power plant that we're going to have to work out. Then we're going to come out of here. We're then going to come this way, keep left into the oil refinery, then keep right down to the food factory. That's the high level stuff done. In terms of the farm, I just want to make sure at the moment we're set to go towards B. And then we're set for a straight through run. We'll set these points up in a minute. I think both of them are going to B2I, according to this. I think they were both like that. Let me just double check that. This one as well, yeah. So, at the farm, we're going into B2I. So we're going to be keeping left here, left again, and then right, left, right, into B2I, coming in from the east side. After the farm, our next stop is City West. Now, City West, our first drop is at C3I and then C2I. So with City West, as you probably recall, we're going to keep right again. Then we're going to go up here and reverse back and keep right towards C. C3I is here, C2I is here, so we're going to keep left, then right, and then left into C3I, and then we'll pull forward and do C2I. C3I, then C2I, that's correct. Next stop is a coal power plant at B5I. Now, the coal power plant is going to be interesting. B5I, yeah, it's a mess, this, isn't it? So we're going to be coming in from here. This is the trickiest one so far. So we're going to keep left, and we're going to enter this loop here. And then what I want to do, I think, is come left through the loading yard, and then we're going to go into B. Our drop off at B is 5I. So if we have a look at B, we've got to go forward. It's a bit annoying, this. 5I is here, but you can't drop it on the way into B yard. It's a strange one. So what we need to do is go through it, and then we'll have to reverse back and make that drop into 5I. So we'll have to do that when we get there. But the rest of the train, when it pulls forward, will come around this loop here. And then we'll come back along this way, back through there, and we'll ultimately go back right out of this way. So imagine this. We're coming in this way, through the loading yard, into B, pull all the way forward, hope we don't meet ourselves, reverse back into B, make the drop, and then pull forward and come back out and go this way, southbound, out of this switch. That will then lead us out of here, back out of this loop. We'll have to then switch that to a left switch and then head off down towards the oil refinery. At the oil refinery, we've got an A2S drop at the oil refinery. And if I bring up the oil refinery, A2S, this is the A, and 2S is right here. And we're going to be coming in from, if you remember, coming in from the south side. So we go up through here, and we come in from the south, which means we come in from here, and we're dropping at A2S. Now, there's different ways of doing this, but I think probably the simplest one, well, you can either go through the B yard or you can basically go through this yard here. But I think considering we're dropping at 2S, I think this is the most preferable. So we'll turn right, we'll come along here, and then we'll hang a left, and then we'll hang a left again, and then we'll come forward, and then we'll have to reverse back, flick that switch, and go right and then left into 2S and make that drop. So again, this whole job is not particularly straightforward. This is the most complex thing we've done. Food factory, our first drop is at C6I and then C1S. So food factory itself, we're coming in from the south again, which will be this side. So C6I is keep right and then left into C. And 6I is left and then right. So straight into that input line. And then after 6I, we've got C1S. And C1S is over here, so we'll then pull forward and then we'd go left, left, left into 1S. Whew! That's a lot going on, isn't there? A lot going on there. Anyway, we're already burning fuel, so we'll start off by handing that in. We'll get that one in there like that. And then we'll basically go down the line. That's that. We are now clock ticking. Let's get out of here. Right. Now, we're looking to get to 40. 40 should be good through all of these switches here. 40 is good for the climbing turn, as we know. We've done it many times. The main thing is not to overheat. The DE6 will be okay, but I am worried about that DH4. It'll self-regulate and back off the power because of all the electronics we've put in there. But frankly, I'd rather not overheat it. That's the D6 changing. Transmission, there we go. That's normal. I'd rather the DH4 not overheat because it will start to light up here and back off its power, and we kind of need everything that we've got. The main thing is, I think the track has dried. It was a little bit rainy. Late evening. Now, I'm also going to use this here, which is our distance tracker. It's been set for 990 meters, which is roughly the length of the train. I did actually set the harbour correctly, didn't I, to go left out of here. Yeah, right turn out of there. Okay, there's coming up for 40 now. Right, let's just let everything cool off. We've got huge amounts of momentum, so we don't need to worry about that. And as soon as our train starts to get up this slope, we'll bring the power back in and see if we can hold 40. It's going to be very strange because the front of the train will be on the flat bit at the junction, while the back of the train will still be down the bottom of this hill somewhere. So we're going to see strange things happening with momentum. Okay, if I start the clock running just about here, I know that that is the bottom of this slope. And there goes the inclinometer into positive territory. We're still at 43. I don't really want to go any quicker than that because the train's going through all those switches right now. There we go, we're starting to feel it now. Not worried about traction, I'm just worried about sheer power. The good thing though about having a train this length is not all of the weight will be on the steep incline. It will be spread around. Some of it will still be on the flat right now. Not all of it will be on this incline, so it doesn't weigh as much as it should, if that makes sense. Like, you're not literally hauling all of this weight up a 2% gradient. You're hauling some of it. Some of it's on the flat still. As you can see back there, that portion of the train is still on the flat. The rest of it's now on the slope. This is more or less maximum stress now. Okay, right switch is set. Just keep the power down constantly. There we go. So the back of the train is now entering the slope. That's the DH4 backing off. Yeah, this is the most difficult part of the journey, by far. But I think we're doing okay right now. This really is a midnight haul. Okay, I might just go quickly back and have a look at what that DH4 is doing. Yeah, so yeah, you can see the DH4 is backing off constantly. In some respects, it is not helping things at all. It's holding back the DE6s in some ways. I am actually half tempted to turn off this DH4 just to stop it holding back the DE6s. They're much more capable. It's whether we think we need the extra power from it, that's the problem. Let me back off the throttle a bit. If we can get the power level set to something where the DH4 doesn't back off, we'll have a better time of it. There we go. That's a bit more stable, isn't it? Yeah. Every time we cut the power, we just lose that bit of momentum, and we've just gradually shaved down from 30, whereas now, because we've got constant power, we're actually able to keep accelerating, which is good. Oh, it's a very dark day, isn't it? Look at this. The midnight climb. Looks fantastic with those lights, though. You could even put them on here as well, look. Just get some extra light in. Look at that. How cool is that? The only problem with it is if you then go into these cabs up front, you start to get lit by this thing. But it does look rather awesome. Yeah, I'd say we've hauled that pretty well, though. That little adjustment in power's worked wonders. So the first stop will be the farm, and that will be B2I. So we're going to be dropping 9 cars, and the cars are tooling, so they're all like the same colour. So we should be able to find those 9, and then we've also got the ammonium nitrate. So the easy way to figure this one is to look for those 3 ammonium nitrate cars. They're very distinct. And then we just want to disconnect the front and hand those 2 jobs in, recalculate our train length, and we're good to carry on. That's all going into 2I, which we've set at the farm already. Yeah, that's perfect. Pays to double check. I think I heard a bit of wheel slip then. Something's running hot, it's just that, I think. That's fine. It's all good. Well, it's been going along pretty well. I've turned off the DH4 now. I've also turned off the headlights on the DH4 because inside here was just ridiculous. It was like the inside of the sun. So, yeah, we're cruising quite nicely. We can probably just back off the throttle and just roll it now, even though it's more or less uphill. We're basically on this stretch here at the moment. We know that we've got a 50 turn to the right coming up, and then a downward slope down to a 50 dropping left turn, which we've done a few times. Now, having the Slug will help because it does provide us with a bit of extra dynamic braking as well, so that's good. 2 D6s and a Slug will provide plenty of dynamic braking, but we still probably will need to use the brake. We'll just monitor it. In terms of fuel burn, not doing so bad. Quarter of a tank of fuel, but that's more or less the biggest descent we've got, apart from the climb up to the factory. But by then we'll have ditched most of our weight. So things are looking pretty nice. Quite happy with the way it's going. 60 is the limit. 60 is what we're doing. And yeah, once we've made the farm... Oh, also, I recalculated. This isn't actually an error. Our train length is actually 1121. It's 1,100 meters. It's 1.1 kilometers in length. It's more than I can even assign to this thing. I did recalculate because I started to think about the train length, and I thought to myself, one second, where's the dynamic? Why are you not coming on? Okay, dynamic's not coming on. I'm just going to put some normal on. Usually dynamic won't work when you've got some power activated, but we actually don't, so I'm not really sure why I can't engage it. Just double check. Back off on the throttle. There we go. Something wasn't quite right. That's the dynamic coming in now. Right, if I start the timer here, so the timer only goes up to 1k, so it's actually 100 meters more than that. I started to recalculate because I was thinking every time we drop a part of our consist off, we need to know how much to reduce this by. And it was only when I started to calculate that I realised that I'd made an error, and I hadn't included the extra 162 meters from this job, and that's where the error came from. But it's all fixed now. I've got the length limits set, so as soon as we've made the drop at the farm, I can readjust this down to 905 meters, and so on. Right, let's keep our eye on this, because this is going to happen quite quickly. Our speeds are starting to slowly increase. I'm just going to bring up the dynamic. We'll see how much we can get away with. We've got to monitor our temperatures over here, because we are generating a lot of heat with all this weight. You can see that we're getting over 600 amps, 5 to 600 amps back off the traction motors. Huge amount of power. That is left switch set. 50 limits, 53. The dynamics are so good on this thing. Look how much they're performing. We've got all this weight down that slope, and they're holding it all back. Crazy. 54 as we go through the drop. Just go to maximum and see if we can hold it. Okay. Yeah, it's picking up a bit. We need a little bit of brakes just to help us, I think. Let's start that clock. Otherwise we might overspeed. If we derail this thing, there's going to be a huge mess. Back off on that. Right, so we're still on full dynamic now. I don't know if you can see any of this. So the back of the train has not even entered that turn yet. There's 50. It's also important to use as much of that momentum. You know, we've paid for that momentum by burning fuel to get all of that weight at the top of that hill, so it's all free energy coming back down again. Okay, there's 2i. Now, judging the back of this train is going to be tricky. And the big issue is the remote will not reach that length. I'm going to do... I tell you what I should have done. I should have started the timer when we got to the start of this yard. That would have helped greatly, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to kill that dynamic. Put some normal brake in and jump out. Just have to keep on the remote range and see how we get on. Really want to be on the other side of this train. Start slowing it down and see where we're at. We may have to run back forward and reverse a bit if I get it wrong. There's a very good chance I'll get it wrong. Actually, what we're looking for is... Let's keep it rolling. What we're looking for is those three... What comes before that? There's the ammonium nitrate, so we're looking for the gasoline, more gasoline, and then tooling. This will be the tooling here. So we'll just let it roll. But this train is twice as long as the radio range on this wireless, so once we get down to red dots, we're going to have to try and eyeball it on the back of one of these cars. There's the gasoline. That's only just coming in. Let's accelerate a little bit, otherwise we're going to lose too much time doing this drop. This is where fly shunting would be particularly useful, actually. Right, I'm going to have to get on this train if I can. There we go. I'm going to try and eyeball it because we've only just got a signal range here. There's the back there of the gasoline. And after the gasoline, shove the ammonium nitrate. So I think I can just about start to see the ammonium nitrate entering the yard. Speed we're doing 15. It would honestly help a lot if it wasn't the middle of the night. But hey, at least it's not raining. Yeah, I really should have used the train length tracker as we entered the yard. As it stands, those trees are not helping. I'm looking for the gasoline cars getting to the front of the yard there. That's what I'm looking for. I can just about make them out. I'm going to go for that, I think. I'm going to hit the brakes on that, and if I've got it wrong, I'm going to have to come running down here again. Everything just gets more difficult when you're dealing with trains this length. I've actually overshot. No! I've overshot by a little bit. These are the ammonium nitrate cars here, and I need to get in signal range and just reverse it slightly. It was close. I almost had it absolutely bang on, but it took a bit longer than I thought to slow down. This is where we're going to seriously have to think about getting the caboose. Can I get a signal? Now if I stand here, I figure we want about 3 or 4 cars pushing back from my position. This is the very non-scientific way of doing it. The best way would have been, as we came into the yard, I start the tracker, and that would have told me when the back of the train was at the back of that yard, and that we could have just stopped at that point. So that was my mistake doing that, basically. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I reckon that should more or less do us. Yeah, I think we'll have to go and get the caboose. If we're going to be dealing with trains this long, we're going to need that wireless booster. Yeah, that's fine. Look at that. So there's the 3 ammonium nitrates. That's... Is that within that yard? Hang on a minute. Oh, it's not within that. Is it 2i we're going to? Oh, you scumbag. It's not within 2i, look. Oh, this is brutal. We're wasting precious time. Come on. I need to reverse back literally like 2 cars length now. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I've lost a lot of time doing this. But, you know, this is why, when you've got all the licenses and it's shaved your bonus times down quite a lot, you really need to be on it if you want to get the bonus. If you start making mistakes, like this is one example of a mistake. Other examples would be just, you know, not predetermining your track and going down the wrong track and having to reverse back up. All of it starts to waste your time, and the more time you waste, the more jobs you're not going to get your bonus for, and it starts to hit you in the wallet. Right. Brakes on. Can release that. Let's get over to the station. We want this handed in first. $37k, thank you very much. We then want this one. 25k, thank you very much. And then run back to the train. We're on the approach to City West. I've recalculated the distance tracker. It's now set at 900 meters, which is the approximate length of the train. So we've got a right turn, and then we've got to get past the... Let's just flick this over to City West. We've got to get past this switch here, which is not highlighted yet, but it should be over there somewhere. Oh, there they are. So this one here controls access down to C. This one controls access into this curved bit of track here. We've got to get past this signal. Or this switch, sorry. Or this level crossing, really. So if we get the front of this train over there, and then start the tracker. So if we go from like now, get a bit of juice because it's going to be an uphill. I don't want to exceed the speed limit though, because it's still round in that corner. Now as soon as we get past that, we should be able to stop the train, hit reverse, and then flick that switch. And hopefully, if we've done our calculations correctly, we'll be past that switch and we don't derail the train. Normally I'd jump out of that switch and use the remote, but the train length is still beyond the remote limit, so we've already lost time at the farm. I don't really want to lose more time here. And I reckon by the time we finish this job, it might easily be the morning. It's already 2:30 a.m. I think it'll be daylight in a couple of hours. Good grief. We can almost be at the coal power plant doing this. We have to do a similar thing when we reverse this. We're going to have to stand on the back of the train somewhere and try and eyeball it down there. Oh, this 30 limit is killing me. What's the time limit on this job? 86 minutes. Right, we've almost got it in place. We're still on the incline. Wait, what? Why is that saying negative? Right, we'll get the brakes on. Should be well clear of it now. Let's see how long it takes to activate the brakes. Once the air's gone down the line, which takes a while, all the brakes come on. It stops very quickly, but until it's done that... Okay, we're in reverse. I've gone way past that switch because it took a long time to stop. Look how long it takes to release. Come on. There we go. Brakes released. Yep, can't see a thing. So now we really do need to make sure we've got our switches set correctly. So we're going to go right on that one. Right through there. Right into there. Into C. Left. Right, left into 3I is the first drop, isn't it? Yeah. Right, let's get it moving. Pretty soon that should come up saying it's switching to the right, at which point we'll start to make our way back down the train so we can see what's going on. In fact, I'm going to do it now because the back of the train's probably gone through that switch, but the front of the train where the... Oh, I've lost myself. Where am I? The front of the train where the gear is, the switching gear. Can I get up there? Come on. There we go. Gonna need to get my little light out, I think. You can see what we're doing here. The front of the train is where the switch setter is, so it can't detect the switch yet, even though the back of the train is going through the switch, because the train is so long. Yeah, this would have been a lot easier in the day, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's the... This must be the tooling. Right, I'm going to sprint to the back of this train, I think. Right, so I'm on the back of these cars here. These are all the gasoline cars that get dropped, and you can see the issue. I'm on the limit of the wireless, and I can just about eyeball the back of the train currently. But it's really not easy. I know the yard's lit up, but it's very hard to see. Like, you really want somebody in the yard down there on a little radio just telling you, yep, back up 100 meters, 50 meters, stop there, etc. I've got 7 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cars are going in the next yard there. I'm just going to stop this and see if we can work out which car we need to be. Because what I don't want to do is smack into the back of the yard there. So these first 7 cars here are going to go into 2I. So anything that belongs to... Let's see. This is this one. This is FH79. 47... 47... 7... 79. Right, so that's 79. Where does that track start? 3I is there. 47's here. Okay, this one here needs to be beyond that there. It wasn't a bad guess, it was only 1 car short. And that is 47, isn't it? Yeah. So the back of the train now is just about on the limit of the wireless, which is going to start making things a lot easier. I just want to make sure that's well in that yard. Let's get those brakes on. And brakes on that. Oops. Misclicked. Okay, let's pull it forward. Let's get some light. Right, so what we're looking for now is there's that switch there, that one. Need to get beyond that switch so we can switch the rest of it back into 2I, which is where 47's going. There's that switch there. clear to me. Okay, let's flick that over. Right, while that's steadily reversing, I'm just going to go and hand this job in because this one has quite a big bonus on it, if I remember. This one here. Yeah, 114,000. Alright, 43 minutes out of 80 minutes, so we're still 40 minutes early at the moment. So I feel slightly less panicked now. If we get on here, it should be these 7 cars and then the tooling. So this one just needs to be beyond that 2i board, roughly. But now I feel like we've actually got some control over the train while we're outside of the cab. Yeah, that one there paid really well. 76k plus a bonus. Very nice. Okay, start getting the brake on. Got a bit of ambient light coming as well. It's actually helping quite a lot. Awesome. Let's get that moving. Now this job is this one here. How much was this paying? 45. Still pretty nice. Station green light is there. That's 68k. Right, up to the coal power plant now with the super fun drop. This will be interesting, but at least we've got control with the remote. Oh, it's such a long sprint back up. There's the front of the train. Blimey. Tell you what though, these two DE6s are really performing very well indeed. Okay, so 614 is the new train length, so 600 is there, 610 is there, that'll do. That's our current train length, 600 meters, which is more of a normal train length for us. And in this one, we're going to be dropping this lot off at the coal power plant. This is a bunch of tooling, which is going into B5I. Now this is 6 cars, 6 cars, 2 cars, for a total of 14 cars. And the job immediately before it is 3 empty liquid containers. So we can find these jobs quite easily because the one in front of it is quite easy to find. The difficulty with this job, if you remember, coal power plant, is we've got to enter this loop, then we're going to come in, we're going to pull through B, let the rest of the train go back out that way, while we then switch this back into B5I. We're going to switch this, we're going to come through here, which will reset both of these points like this. Pull it forward, we'll jump out with the remote and get it sent in. Right, this is the coal power plant on the left, and we're just entering the loop. Left turn here. Well, we've burned through half a tank of fuel now on the DE6, so we've probably burnt the same on the other one. But luckily, let me slow it down. Luckily, there's a diesel service centre at the food factory, so when we do get to our destination, we can still grab a load of fuel again. Let's try and keep the speed steady. There it is. Complex set of tracks here, but if we've navigated things correctly, we should be okay, but we will have to watch out for anything. Let's just bring that map up there. That is a... Do you know what? I've never put that down before and never realised how ridiculously thick that is. What is that? It's like a giant box. That's crazy. I just wanted to have it to hand so I could just double check it. What we're expecting, but we're expecting a left turn through here. Into 3L. Yeah, 3L was a loading bay, so it should be empty. But I don't trust the game or anything else here, but I'm just going to double check. And then the loading bay, I'm just going to grab that now. We should be coming into the B yard. And we'll be going straight through the B yard. Oh, well, that's a little bit quick. That's a bit quick. The wheels definitely didn't like that. Okay, so this is the B yard here. That was a fierce turn. And I think this is 5i. Right next to us. This is where it needs to go. Because that's 3S to the right of us. Yeah, this is 5i on the left. So if that's the case, then if I hover over that switch there, that's the one that's going to get us into B, along with this one here. These two. So we'll just let it cruise past. And we're going to jump out here. Now our train is going to go around that loop, but there should be nothing blocking that at all. And the train shouldn't be long enough that it can then meet itself coming in. It should be fine. I know it's a long train, 600 meters. We just keep our eye on the wireless signal, but given that it's going in a circuit and not directly away from us, I think wireless range should be absolutely fine. The sky is just starting to turn a light blue. Right, you see these three cars here? These are the ones that are separating our jobs, I think. So the one we're dropping off is this one, which is FH00. And that should correspond with this job here. There it is. So when we reverse, we want that car in 5i. So right now, I don't know where the front of my train's gone. I can't see it. So I am completely trusting to the fact that the track is empty. I haven't gone and checked it. If I hear a loud bang, then I know things have gone wrong. Okay, I think we can start to get the brakes on now. I is definitely that one. I can actually hear the diesel engine over there somewhere. There it is. Wowzers. So that is about here. Just before that. Blimey. So our train is basically all that length there. That is huge. Right, this being an input track, there'll be nothing on it, so I don't need to worry about anything being on the line. If you're ever doing logistic jobs, they'll inevitably drop off onto storage lines. Never, ever, ever assume that they're empty. The station is just there, so once we get out of here, it should be a straight run out. We can basically send the train around that loop, because it will naturally go back around this way, and then we're out of there. These are all the tool cars. Yep, here they come. Here's the 3 we're looking for. It's been quite a fun little job, this. First time I saw the coal power plant, when they first dropped it in the game, I looked at it and just thought, what on earth have you done? But it's actually, you know, it's one of their most challenging stations. Or yards, whatever you want to call it. And with good reason, because they added it much, much later in the game's development. And so I think they were looking to add something a lot more challenging, but it is quite fun because of it. The first time you get there, it's deeply confusing. Right, we'll send that on its way, and we'll go and hand this in. Now this is going to be worth another 75k or so if we got it right. 80k, look at that. How much dosh have we got now? 1 million! We've done it! We passed 1 million, finally. 1.1 million we're on. Let's go and pick the train up. Finally hit that 1 million mark. Every time we got near 1 million, we'd have to buy something like a license and it just set us back. But this time, we've finally got over 1 million. And we're not done yet, we've got more jobs. Just want to watch our maximum speed. Wait, whoa! Hold the phone! Hold, is that the... Oh, it's a, Oh, I was getting all excited then. I thought that was the museum one. Dang it. I almost got excited. I thought for 1 second that was the Museum 282. I was about to stop the train and go and stick it on the end. But it's not. It's a, it's got a number on it, which means it's not. Oh well. Still got to find the 282. Still got to find the SO60. One day. Okay, onward and upwards. So basically what we're doing now is we're coming back out of this loop. And that will bring us back southbound this way. So what we need to do is we need to switch that to the left so that we go this way up to the oil refinery. Right, we're approaching the oil refinery. We've got a bit of a gradient 50 limit. I've adjusted this down to, what was that, 360 meters, which is our current train length. I do want to have a look around at the oil refinery just to see if there's anything museum-wise here, because I don't think we've been here before. Oh, that's a bit of a drop in speed. Okay, 4 to 40, 30. I've also got to make sure I clock where the siding yards are. There we go. 30 will do, that's a good speed. Right, where are we in the refinery right now? That's a very good question. I think we're on this bit, which means we'll kick left, and then we've got to reverse this into 2S. I don't see anything right now, do you? Mind you, it's a very busy place. We need to have a proper look around. I don't know where the spawners are. I think they're the storage yards over there. Yeah, here's the kick left. There's another... Oh, there's a garage over there. Yeah, this must be the storage bay. Yep, there it is. Wait, what's that? What's that there? That looks like a 60, maybe. That could be one of the museums. Hang on, I need to jump out. That could be one of the museum pieces. Let me figure out where we are. That's that one. That one there. Okay, so we need to come past here. Switch that to the right. That's already set right, then left. And there's something here that we just saw that looked very museum-like. And we're dropping off 3 silver cars. I can't remember where the... there it is, station is, because I don't come here very often. It's a cool place though. You can definitely get good jobs out of here. Right, these are the 3 cars we're looking for. Now, if that is a museum piece, where the heck am I going to put that? I'm not expecting to get any bonuses anymore. We've got our big bonuses. Let me just flick that. So I guess we could just tow it on the back, couldn't we? Because it's going to get in the way of job drop-off, basically. That's my only concern. See anything else? That does look like a small one, doesn't it? Like the SO60. Actually, I don't know. It might be the 282. It's kind of hard to tell. It's completely hidden right now. It's definitely a museum. That's a 282. Wowzers, we just found the 282, I think. Now, normally if there's a museum piece here, there won't be more than one. So I wouldn't expect to find anything else here. We're definitely in the right yard here. That's A3S. We're definitely going to A2S, aren't we? It just doesn't look like a storage yard. A2S, it is. This is when I see these platforms here, it's normally a loading bay, but it must be for the right-hand side. Okay, this is the right place. Let's get that done. We're not being paid much for this one, but that's fine. Let's move it forward slightly before it crushes me. And I'll quickly hand the job in. If I can remember where the station was. I'm totally disoriented. Where was the station? Seriously. I've got myself completely mixed up now. There it is. Right, let's just pull this forward a little bit. That should do. There it is. Right, and the entrance is round this side. Of course it is. That one, please. 20k. Oh, 7 minutes. There you go. Yeah, that's pretty much guaranteed we're not going to get any more bonuses. But just to have a quick look at these jobs, you can see you get, you know, diesel jobs. 67k, all refineries to City West, down to the harbour. You know, they pay decent money if you've got the hazmat licenses for it. Let me put the brakes on that a second. Yeah, so the last couple of jobs in the food factory, as I said at the beginning, I don't expect to get any bonus for. We're going to have to re-rail this somewhere. It might be easier if I pull this forward and we reverse this thing into this track here. Re-rail. To leave enough room for that. You as well, please. Hey, I can't believe we found another one. That's so cool. This is definitely going to sound like a bag of nails when we drag this. Switch that. Yeah, so although we're going to the food factory and making more drops, we're not up against the clock anymore because we've basically no chance of making the bonus. We've got our main pay and we've also recovered the steam, which is awesome. I do need to buy more paint and stuff though. So we need to get near the goods factory, which is not bad because the food factory is in the right direction. Easy, tiger. There we go. Oh, don't drift away. There we go. Right, now we need to turn some handbrakes off. And stuff. Let's see. Crikey. That's the handbrake. I can't for the life of remember where the brake cut switch is. There it is, there's a brake cut. That's cut out. Brakes are definitely all off. I don't believe... I think the handbrake's just on the tender, or remember. Let's see if it wants to move. It's going to sound so bad. I mean, strictly speaking, you should put lubrication in these joints before you start dragging these trains off, but yeah, it seems to be moving. Yeah, it sounds pretty bad. Water in the pistons, etc. Awesome! I can't believe that. I wish you could climb this ladder rather than have to teleport up it. Right, where's our next stop? Let's get moving here. Where's our next stop? Food factory. So, we're coming out the old refinery. We are going up here, taking a right towards a food factory. The main drop is this one, which is at the back. We've got about 10 minutes to get there, so again, we've got no chance. We've got these cars in front. This is the first drop, which is into C6I at the food factory. So we've got a right turn followed by a left turn into C, and then we've got a left and a right turn into 6I. So pretty straightforward now. We're on the home straight, this monster delivery, and then we'll drop these tankers off and we're done. Here we are on the descent down into the food factory. This thing really does chuck you down a hill. It's like a roller coaster style hill going down from the south side of the food factory. But it's quite... what it'll do is it'll throw you... it'll say, oh look, your speed limit's 70, enjoy yourself, go for it. And then it'll throw you into a tunnel, and as you come out the tunnel, immediately present you with a load of switches. And if you've allowed it to go too quick, you are going to be in big trouble. I think it's quite a nice day now. I'm just using those dynamic brakes, they are so good. 80 reduced speed limit, down to 60. I'm just going to keep slowing down. I like to be doing 40 or so by the time we get to the junction. So that, if you found the 282, we still don't know where the 60 is. Unless I did see it in a previous episode, I can't remember. Just leave the brakes on for now. Now, this is what I really do hope that I've set this up correctly. Looks like we're going into 6I. Jump out there. 6I is correct. Now what I'll probably do is have to try and figure this out now, because we've got a steam train on the back of this thing. Start slowing it down. Total train length now is only like 317 meters plus the steam. So we're not worried about wireless control. Let's get it stopped. Listen to that. It sounds so bad. Right, if we get the handbrake on that, we'll get this unloaded here. We'll have to figure out how we're gonna get that out of there. Yeah, we've got a connector on the back, so we can pull it out of there. I need to disconnect these cars from the other cars as well. The handbrake's already on these. So we do that. Nip through there, get over to the station. I don't think we're anywhere near the bonus, but we'll get here as quickly as we can, just in case we're close. 83 minutes on 82. Oh my god! Do you remember the time that we spent faffing around at the farm, yeah? That literally cost us $13,000 because that's the difference between having that bonus and not having that bonus. See? Every little mistake. When you're doing 8 jobs, one mistake early on will cost you later. What does this final job need to go? This one is going to C1S. And C1S is here. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, the time we wasted at the farm, if you think about it, we could have got both of these jobs in at a bonus, just about. And that's, how much is that one? 37, that's a big bonus. Probably about 30k lost, which is more or less going to be the running cost of all of these locos. That's a lesson right there. I was a little bit unlucky at the farm. I almost got it on the, I stopped. Yeah, I mean, it's my fault entirely, but, you know, I was a little bit unlucky on the first stop. Not to get it, I had to push it back a bit more. I'm not too worried. I mean, 30k is, you know, it's a lot, but at the end of the day, we're not exactly short on money anymore. Right, let's get it dropped off into 1S, and then we are job complete. There we go. That's that stored. I had to push some cars back, but it's inside 1S. And it's just starting to rain. That's amazing. I thought we had some great weather, but apparently not. Let's get that turned off. Parking brake on. We are doing no more work today. Let's get this handed in. 88 out of 82 minutes. Yeah. Ay. Right, so what have we racked up in fees? 24 grand on the DH4. Not the DH4, 24 grand on the rented DE6. I mean, you think about how much money we've earned today. I mean, we've got to service these up. 24 grand, which means that's going to cost about 12 in the service yard, which means this one here is going to cost about the same. I doubt we've done much to that. That's still in 100% condition. Plus, whatever we've done to that, our running costs are quite low. It's not going to be more than 82, so we're going to have at least 1.1 million in the wallet. I mean, that is a big wallet, isn't it? $1.1 million. Unless we've got like $1 million note in there. Anyway, I digress. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. And if you got any friends or anything like that, friends or family who think, you know, they might enjoy train videos or squirrel videos, why not tell them to go and check out these Derail Valley playthrough series. Until the next one, guys, take care. Happy training.